Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another episode of, well, we can't call it what I usually call it, so we're going to call it Jester and Mirdo Rank Off Together. That's right, it's me and my good friend Mirdo, and we are up against Tier Maker again, and we are doing the F1 drivers of 2019. First of all, let's say hello to Mirdo. Hello, Mirdo.
Hello, Mirdo.
Hello, Mirdo. Mirdo is a wonderful person. He has been someone who's been part of my streams for over 7 years, even though I've only been streaming for nearly 5 years. He is an incredibly supportive friend, and we like him a lot. So he might be in more videos. So if you don't like him, I'm really sorry. He's also German, so
Oh no.
don't be mean to him. Anyway, we are ranking the drivers of the 2019 F1 Championship season. You can't see them all because Mirdo's camera is covering them. But we have all 20 here. We have Alex Albon. We have Valtteri Bottas, we have Pierre Gasly, we have Antonio Giovinazzi. Mirdo, be impressed by the way that I'm remembering these names. Romain Grosjean.
There's only 20 of them, it's not that hard.
Nico Hulkenberg. Listen, I got confused on 12 Monster flavors. Lewis Hamilton, Robert Kubica, Daniel Kvyat, Charles Leclerc, or Chuck Leclerc if you're one of those people. I saw someone calling that. It's really weird. Kevin Magnussen, Lando Norris, Stroll. Lance Stroll, thank you. Kimi Raikkonen, Daniel Avocado, or Ricardo if you're normal. George Russell, Carlos Sainz. Who are you? Oh shit, I got mixed up. No, it's Sergio Perez.
Yeah, I was about to say that can't be it because they've been all in like
Sergio Perez is
alphabetical
is the
order.
first pink
I was
one.
like thinking of...
The one you can't see is Lance Stroll. Then it's Max Verstappen, and then Sebastian Vettel. So there we go. What are we ranking these guys on? We're ranking them on how well we think they did in relation to their cars, relation to their teammates. We're not going to use like the past too much to judge them until we get Sebastian Vettel, in which case I'm going to be incredibly mean to him. But yeah, I think everyone else is kind of like, you know, there's no major ill will to say about many of these drivers. One or two, maybe. But what we'll do is we'll drag them to B. We have rank from S to D, S being brilliant, D being trash. We'll go one by one, we'll put them up into B so you can see what they look like, and then Mirdo and I have a bit of a conversation about them, and then we'll cut out the bit where Mirdo shares his opinion, and I'll put them where I think they should go. So, first of all, Mirdo, yes. Alex Albon.
So we're going alphabetical.
Yeah.
Albon. Albon's pretty good, I would say. So he was obviously started the season on Toro Rosso, then got promoted to Red Bull halfway through the season because Gasly was kind of shy.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for a season that already was.
Yeah, so for context, Red Bull and Toro Rosso are related teams. Toro Rosso is kind of like the junior team to Red Bull, so it's quite a big thing if you get promoted to them. So
yeah, they usually pull the Red Bull drivers from Toro Rosso, and in Toro Rosso they go, all the drivers go where they be like, oh, we can have them in the future for Red Bull.
Yeah. So
yeah, because Toro Rosso literally means Red Bull in Italian.
They're very creative. So yeah, Alex Albon got promoted, so already very good thing for him. He outscored his teammate in his first 3 or 4 races, I think it was, which is massive because his teammate Max Verstappen is like the one that everyone's tipping to be, you know, a future champion and stuff like that. I think in the end, if you're only comparing like the half season, which realistically you can do because they're in the same team, Verstappen still ended up with more points by the end. But it was also Albon's first season as well. He's one of the 3 rookies. So for me,
I mean, you have to also, when you say that Verstappen had a lot of bad luck and shit like that.
But you know, Albon didn't. So. You know what I mean? It's silly saying, oh, they only did this because someone's bad luck. It's less that, it's more they fucked up.
Yeah, you have to put it in a perspective.
Yeah.
Verstappen was still the stronger driver.
Oh, yeah, I'd say so. But because of the promotion, because of being such a rookie and having the promotion and stuff, I think he deserves an A rank.
Yeah, put him A. You also have to kind of see that the Red Bull is definitely more suited to Verstappen. You saw that in the first few races for Gasly. He was not getting along with the car.
Speaking of Tier 2 teammates, Valtteri Bottas.
Listen. Bottas is like he was brilliant back when he wasn't in Mercedes before Rosberg left. He was brilliant in Williams. Like what he got out of that Williams was brilliant. But we're not talking about that. He won quite a few races this season.
He won the first one and gave that radio message to whom it concerns, fuck you, which
that was so good.
Did not age well.
I mean, it was so good though at that moment.
So,
it was so good.
What can you say about Bottas? He won his first race. He did win a few races this year. Definitely got pole positions as well. I think it was something like, if I remember the stats, Hamilton versus Bottas. Bottas got 12 poles to Hamilton's 9, or beat him. Sorry. In qualifying 12 times to 9, but Hamilton beat him in 12 races to 9 or something like that. It was like a perfectly mirrored stat.
Interesting.
But yeah, he still finished second in the championship, so you know it would be silly to rank him below A. He definitely he had a better season this year than he has in any other season. I think he scored more points this season than in any other season.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've got anything extra to say on that.
No, I always say he's like the perfect wingman. He's the perfect number 2. He's like a Rubens Barrichello or Felipe Massa even. He's like the perfect number 2. I mean, okay, calling Massa number 2 is maybe wrong, but you know, like definitely Barrichello to Schumacher.
Yeah,
that's probably a good way to put it. Yeah, he's just really, really good, really, really solid,
he's like
pretty consistent as well.
The Mark Webber to Sebastian Vettel.
Wouldn't call it that.
So,
but yeah, I would say A
for Bottas.
Yeah, probably above Albon if you care for.
I wasn't going to worry too much about ranking them specifically there. Okay. I'll be honest, I think Albon's had a better season than Bottas, but that's just me.
I disagree.
Speaking of people who've had better seasons than other people, French person, Gasly. Pierre Gasly.
Gasly is a weird case because obviously he started off horribly in the Red Bull. So like he got kind of used to it during the season. Then when he went back to Toro Rosso, he had a brilliant best.
So again, for context, Red Bull, you're expecting them to qualify anywhere between 1st and 6th. They're one of the top 3 teams, along with Mercedes and Ferrari. Pierre was very much regularly not even in the top 6. Sometimes not even in the top 8.
In the beginning, yes, but towards the middle of the season when he got replaced, he got there. He got like into 6th consistently, but not higher than that. Yeah. So that's kind of...
Also, I think he actually scored less points than Kvyat as well, overall.
You mean in total?
Yeah, I think like if you compare them... No, I think if you compare them like when they were sharing the same team, I think Kvyat, scored more than Pierre.
That could be.
Also, you got to consider Pierre... Oh no, Pierre and Kvyat both had podiums this season.
Yeah,
you know what? Yeah. I don't know. For me, I think once you've been demoted, you don't deserve any higher than a B rank, to be honest. But
yeah, but he had such a brilliant year in Toro Rosso. Then, I'd argue, I'd agree with B tier.
Yeah.
But I'd put him like pretty high in BA because just I know we don't do that, but just as a
you'd like to give him a B plus.
Kind of.
Okay.
Because he had like a pretty good season, and obviously the first podium for Toro Rosso in a while in that brilliant Brazil race.
Yeah.
That was, and also his radio message, and that was so fun. That was good.
Okay. All right, Mirdo, one for you. I'll let you talk a bit on this one. Antonio Giovinazzi.
My golden boy. I don't know why I'm so happy about him. Why he makes me so happy. Mostly because of his name, I believe. Giovinazzi is okay, people don't call him a rookie this season, but technically he is because he had like 2 races in 2016, something like that. With Sauber back in the day, but technically this is his first full season.
Yeah.
He's in Alfa Romeo, which is the junior team of Ferrari, basically. So yeah, he was also a long time in the Ferrari's driver thing, so he's kind of destined for a Ferrari seat, maybe.
Yeah, he's tipped for it, isn't he? Especially with the whole being Italian thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue that he's in the future, I probably see either him alongside Charles Leclerc or him alongside Mick Schumacher.
I don't see Mick getting into Ferrari.
Ooh.
Anyway, that's for a different conversation.
That's a different conversation.
Giovinazzi was a very fun person to watch during this year because again, more context. I usually put a bet on every race. Usually, if it's decent odds, specific driver to get wins and qualifying and stuff. But I always like to put like a bit of money on Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi on a £5 bet won me £40 once. So for me personally, he's 80.
So the thing is with Giovinazzi is that he's pretty kind of young. I think he's 23 or something like that. He's still developing, and he had kind of struggled with the car. He had problems with he didn't really score or anything in the beginning of the season, where his teammate Kimi Räikkönen did like amazingly well.
Yeah, like he was doing like Alonso stuff from like a year or two ago, where he was constantly getting like 7th.
Yeah, and so Giovinazzi was like outscored by a long mile. I think Kimi was for a long time 7th place in the standings, and Giovinazzi was still without a point until Austria. And that's quite deep into the season. So he developed. I don't know, it was kind of fun to watch Gio because he developed so much. It felt like a whole journey.
Yeah, you can see him evolve.
He got consistent. He got more consistent after the break, after summer break. Yeah. Then he got that amazing feat of being in the lead and not being in a Ferrari, Red Bull, or Mercedes.
Yeah, so Giovinazzi was the only driver outside of those teams to lead any laps in the 2019 season. He led like 5th and was 5th in, was it 5th or something? Or 6th, I think?
He was like
laps led.
Yeah. Yeah, because there were like, I think Bottas, Hamilton, Vettel, Leclerc, and Verstappen, obviously, they all led laps. Yeah. And then there was Giovinazzi because of like how weird the Singapore race was. He got to lead like 3 or 4 laps. That was amazing.
People go on about how great Raikkonen is, but Raikkonen didn't lead any laps in 2019. So
yeah, and it was pretty significant like as well, because that was the first time a non-Ferrari, Mercedes, or Red Bull car was leading any laps since 2015.
I can say,
Bottas with Williams.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
It's been a while. So Giovinazzi, he, like I said, he developed. Even how I love him, and he did really well in Brazil as well. I wouldn't put him higher than C.
Higher than C?
Because, I would put him probably C or low B, something like that. What are you feeling?
Listen, I'm biased on him winning money for me.
Yeah, but okay. I love him and he's great, but if you put it like in perspective, you have to say that he's fine. He's still in development.
Yeah.
I would agree with B, but I would probably put him.
I was gonna say, if Gasly's our benchmark for B, where would you say against him?
Oof.
Better or worse, or equal?
Worse, but not. I don't know if it's like a whole tier, but also Gasly had like more seasons, so
yeah. I think for what he experience he has, I think he deserves a B.
Yeah, let's put him in B for now. We can still move.
Yeah. All right, here's one that's definitely not going to be a B. Romain Grosjean.
The emphasis on grow.
Yes, I do not like this driver at all. He has caused many incidents. He's gone off track more times than I can count and blamed anybody but himself.
I think Harrison does.
It got to a point where the commentators would go, "Oh yeah, we're just waiting for a Grosjean complaint now." And within 10 seconds, there'd be a radio message with Grosjean saying, "Oh, so they didn't give me enough space. Oh, they hit me." When it's clearly, his fault. Like anyone who's watching at home could see it was him who'd caused the bloody incident. I do not understand why Haas have renewed his contract for another season. I've got to assume there's some kind of dirt that he has on somebody. I feel like he's got someone under blackmail. I've got nothing good to say about the guy. I think he's a D rank all day long.
Okay, so the thing is, he has been with... I'm going to play a devil's advocate here. Because he has been with Haas since... Oh boy, howdy. He has been with Haas since the beginning of Haas, I think. Like, Haas is really interesting because they had, like, I think... They've been in Formula 1 since 2015, and they had like 3 different drivers.
Mm-hmm.
at all. They had Esteban Gutierrez, Grosjean, and Magnussen, and they haven't switched that since then. Maybe there's been a fourth. You can fact check me on that. When you edit this, just find out that I'm stupid and dumb and lying out of my ass. Yeah, he's been with them for a long time, and he has also given them like the best results. And apparently, he's really good at like testing or whatever. He gives good feedback. I think that's what they're saying at least.
To make him a test driver.
Yeah, it's weird because if he's good, then he's good. But if he's bad, then oh boy, howdy, he makes some mistakes.
And the other thing is, in all fairness to the Haas team, and Grosjean maybe, I don't know, I can't remember how Magnussen stacks up. They always qualify pretty well, like within the top 10 quite often, but they just go backwards.
Yeah, because Grosjean's pretty good at qualifying.
Every time they get into a fight, especially Grosjean, he always ends up going off or causing some kind of accident, and it's ridiculous. I think 95% of the incidents he's been involved in have been his fault.
Yeah.
So, like I said, for me, he's D tier.
Yeah, can't really argue that, to be honest.
Alright.
He's just, for all the time he had.
So,
like...
I do rely on you a lot for the midfield pack, because I don't really pay too much attention to them. I'm very much, focused at the front. So, for you, Mr. Mirdo, Nico Hülkenberg.
Ah, the Hulk. Ah, the most tragic tale of Formula 1.
Yes.
If you ask me. Nico Hülkenberg, amazing talent, has been for a long time. Like, everybody's been praising him that if given the right car, he could have been, maybe not champion, but definitely up there.
What a compliment.
Yeah, I don't know if they say he could be a champion. Maybe could. Who knows? It's of course you can't really predict these things. The thing is with him, I think he has the most races without a podium or win now.
I think that's the case, yeah.
And he has been so close in Germany because of the rain. So he's been doing so well. I think he was running second or something, or third or fourth. But yeah, there was a lot of shenanigans, so it was pretty likely that a lot of stuff happened, and he might have.
That's a race we'll talk about in another video.
Yeah, and then he sadly also got succumbed to the rain and the drag strip.
He probably made the biggest mistake of anybody when it came to the whole Germany race, because a lot of people did what they needed to get out of try and get out of what was going on. He did the one thing you don't do in that incident, and that's slam the brakes on. Because all you're going to do is just slide. And he's the only person that did that, which to me shows a bit of a... I don't know.
I guess he just panicked.
Yeah, not a lack of skill, that's not fair to say, but...
No.
Yeah, he was the only one that I know of that I saw that did that, so...
You maybe just don't really know what to do in that situation, and also... because obviously, if you spin off, that's like your instinct.
Yeah, no, I get
also, that. Like I said, he was running really well. It was his home race. He was probably just a bit of a flutters.
So I do try and think about it in comparison to his teammate, and I'll be honest, he might end up in the exact same tier for me. Honestly, I do feel like both of them in how they did. If you don't, I say don't include. Monza was like very much a flash in the pan, wasn't it? Where for some reason they were suddenly like in the top 6, the pair of them. Oh, sorry, top 6. The Renaults were. Other than that, they had a very mess season.
Renault was not good.
Yeah, they were like, oh yeah, we're competing against McLaren. It's like, well, no, not really.
No.
Most of the time they drove away.
I mean, they have been, but just I don't know, like because the races where McLaren was good, you noticed that when Renault was good, it was like, was just mostly too like, okay, they've been more consistent than the others or whatever.
I think Hülkenberg is possibly a C here.
I'd put him at B.
You reckon B?
Because like I said, he's pretty good. He knows what he was doing. He has the talent and the what do you call it? The experience. He was a really strong asset to Renault for a lot of years. I agree that this year wasn't that great, and that might warrant him a C. But we put Gio in B, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't put him lower than Gio.
Okay.
That wouldn't feel right. I would put Ricciardo and Hulkenberg probably both in B.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, like I said, Hulkenberg, great talent. Sadly, he's not going to be in Formula 1 next year because of, mostly money, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if it went just by talent, he would have a seat.
I'm just looking down the list at the
problem.
moment. I'm trying to see who I think might be a C, and I've got a couple in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, Hulkenberg's staying B. Next up, Mr. Lewis Hamilton.
I mean, he has to be nice. So.
All right, cool. That's that one done. Robert. Okay, let's explain ourselves a little bit.
I'm not a huge fan of him, but
Lewis Hamilton, driving for Great Britain. I'm already biased, but I'll try and speak a little less biased if I can.
Nope.
I just said if I can. I'm going to be honest. I am. He's been driving for Mercedes for 2013 now.
Yeah.
The first season wasn't a good one. After that, it was.
He replaced Schumacher back then.
Yeah. Lewis Hamilton has won his 6th championship this year with the Mercedes team. Alongside that, he is now part of the team that has won 6 World Championships in a row, is it? Constructors, yeah, sorry. 6 Constructors Championships in a row. He's basically got one of, if not the best car at any given race. I mean, for the most part, less so this year, but last year, Ferrari, I think for the majority, actually had a better car. But Hamilton is incredibly good at wringing the neck out of stuff when he's qualifying. And I'll give this to Vettel as well. They are very good at getting in the lead and fucking legging it. That's it, they're gone. One thing you can kind of compare Leclerc and Bottas with, once they're in the lead, they don't tend to do that. They kind of keep the pack a bit closer. Within 5 seconds is like usually their resting place. One of the standout things that I want to say about Lewis Hamilton, and by extension Max Verstappen, one of the races, you might have to check his form in mode, I think it might have been Hungary? It was somewhere in that area. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen finished both with pit stops, as well, extra pit stops, 30 seconds ahead of anybody else in the race. And they were like racing each other. Yeah, racing each other constantly. And theoretically, when you're racing against someone, like, you have to take different lines to defend and stuff, you're actually kind of driving slower across the lap compared to someone who's behind you and like in clean air. But they were constantly like pulling away from everybody else. It's driving like that for me has always put Hamilton in just a tier above anybody else. It's always been the way for me. And it's not just because I'm a fan and, patriotism and stuff like that. I honestly think he's a fantastic driver. And fuck's sake, that noise. I wouldn't put him in S tier just because I think he's great and British. I mean, if that was the case, I'd be tempted to put Albon up there as well because technically he is British. There's a couple more drivers along here that are British that aren't going to make S tier. But yeah, no, I genuinely think Hamilton is a fantastic driver, and that's all I've got to say on the thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he has been in the best car for a long while now, so that's a factor. But you still don't win so many championships just for fun or just out of nothing.
People always say it's like, oh yeah, he's in the best car. Well, so is Bottas.
Yeah.
Why isn't he closer?
I mean,
why isn't he beating Hamilton consistently?
They do focus on Hamilton though. They do give him the nod. He's the number one.
Yeah, but not. They don't.
And there has been team orders this year.
They don't say that though, unlike Red Bull or Ferrari.
Of course not. But there's obviously Vettel is the not Vettel.
Okay.
Verstappen's number one driver, and Vettel and Leclerc fight for that.
I think Vettel was number one driver. I'm not sure if he still bloody is. Anyway,
yeah, not sure.
Moving on, Robert Kubica, Bobby K.
What a whiplash! What a whiplash from Hamilton to Kubica.
Ooh. Okay, again, we're not going to judge too much on history and stuff like that, but a bit of context on Mr. Bobby K. He came back from incredibly terrible rallying accident, actually, which left, was it one or both of his hands crushed?
I think one.
And they had like...
Yeah, definitely, yeah. He had he's like a bit handicapped now.
He is like the comeback kid. He actually had to have his hand reconstructed to some degree. He's got a specially modified steering wheel and stuff like that. Out-qualified by his teammate at every race. Scored 1 point, which people like to go on about for some reason. But for the most part, always finished behind his teammate. I know where I want to put him. Mirdo, I want you to say stuff before I say what I think, I think it should be.
Okay, so Kubica is just I like Kubica because I was so happy when it was announced that he came back. He was poised so before his wedding accident, he was like so good in Formula 1, and he was also just destined for a spot at Ferrari. He actually already signed a contract back in 2012.
Was it 2011? I think he signed the contract.
2011 or 12.
I think 2011 was when he had the rally accident.
Yeah, so he was like, he had a contract for the next season for Ferrari. Obviously that fell through. So one thing with the steering wheel is that he, like, in the race you have to like pull on a lot of knobs. Let's pull it like that.
You have to turn a lot of turners.
You have to change the brake bias on the fly, and like obviously also change the gears, stuff like that. And Kubica does that all with his left hand. Obviously, usually it's on both sides of the steering wheel, but for him they had to put it on just the left side because he doesn't have that much finger stuff. He can't do that much with his right hand apparently. So that's pretty impressive as well. Yeah, he wasn't really great, was he? This year?
No.
If you put all that away, so I know you want to put him in D, and I guess
okay.
It's fine.
Surprise you, I'm going to put him in C.
Ooh, why not?
It's unfair to put him any higher than C because he obviously didn't have a good season.
Yeah.
And he made quite a few mistakes which could definitely chalk up to the disabilities he has. But the fact he did come back and he's been doing all that he's been doing with said disabilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think he's deserving of at least a C, maybe a B, but I know where I'd want to put his teammate, and I feel like he should realistically be a tier above.
Yeah, that's...
But he's not as bad as Roman Grosjean.
Yeah, it's with Kubica, like I said, he has also a ton of experience. He has been doing like 4 or 5 seasons before his accident. Yeah. He was also not really happy with his team.
Yeah,
like, you could tell
he wasn't
definitely
quite
towards
like
the end of the season. Yeah, so I guess that's also a bit of a part of it.
The Williams was a stinker. Right.
Yeah.
Daniel Kvyat.
Ooh, it's hard, isn't it?
Okay, right. So, again, not judging on history, he was actually kicked out of the sport for being a torpedo. He had a lot of incidents, a lot of crashes. Vettel didn't like him. I was watching some like top 10 like green room.
Oh,
things.
I watched that.
Yeah. You're telling us you torpedoed straight into the back of him or something like that. It was brilliant.
Oh, it's racing.
Yeah, oh god, it was so funny. He's like just trying to joke off, and Vettel was like such a dick about it.
Yeah, like Kvyat was trying to make a joke out of it, or like trying to be like, haha, you know. But Vettel was having none of it.
You know what? That video was literally all I thought was, God, Vettel's a dick. That entire video.
I mean, Kvyat was a dick there as well.
He was, but he
didn't take it seriously at all.
I think that's the way you play that, though. It's like, I'm kind of side with Kvyat on that. It's like, you know, nothing that bad happened. You just kind of like, you just crack on with it. Vettel's so self-serious, it's like to his detriment so often. Anyways, this isn't about Vettel. Kvyat, I believe, outscored both of his teammates. Did some fantastic overtaking and stuff like that. There's some brilliant moves he did in some of the races. Has a podium. He's Russian, so he hacked the American election in 2016.
Yes. But he also had a few torpedo moments this season, though.
Did he?
Definitely towards the end. Yeah, there were a few.
I don't really remember. Yeah, like I said, I don't watch him in film.
He went a bit down. He was pretty good. He went a bit less good in the end of the season.
Do you know what? I also want to say, he was never. This might be a thing that brings him down to maybe C. He was told almost immediately when the conversation was happening that he would not be being re-promoted to Red Bull. To me, that just means he's a concrete driver, but he's never going to get a chance to have a championship. Not in that program anyway. Yeah, like you said, he got kicked out of Red Bull. For me, try to compare him against Gasly as well. I think Kvyat might be a C.
Yeah, I think with all that happened and like his stuff.
Yeah.
probably a high C though.
I see. Okay. We might reorder these tiers just to like kind of show where we think they belong in the categories as well. Okay, next up, Charles Leclerc, Charlie Leclerc. How do you?
Chocolate.
What was? Someone literally spelt it the way I assume they say it on Facebook the other day, and it was literally spelled as Charles Leclerc, which was they spelt it SHARLI, and then the rest of it was a Claire, and I was like. I've heard of like writing as you like say things, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, Charles Leclerc, new to rookie year in Ferrari. First season was in rookie year was in Sauber. I was very impressed with him in Sauber actually.
Oh yeah.
I think he is a fantastic driver. Outdrove his teammate, I believe, this year. I feel like he had a couple of moments where I was a bit like, oh, the arrogance is starting to shine through a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But I think back to the fact that he's got the most poles this year. He had that brilliant win streak from, what was it, Spa,
Italy.
Monza. Was it Spa something then Monza?
No, just Spa and Monza.
Yes.
Second in Singapore, third in Russia.
Oh, okay. He should have won in Bahrain. But his engine blew up, so he ended up third.
Fifth? No, wait, Bahrain, not third.
Was it third?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having it up right now.
So, if you just take those into account, I think he might be S. You do have to think a little bit about his couple of incidents where he drove straight into the fucking corner of Azerbaijan. And has
I am stupid.
The amazing radio message, yes, I am stupid. I am stupid.
I am stupid.
I think he...
But that was just in qualifying.
I think he belongs on S, not in front of Hamilton, but I think he does belong on S.
Yeah, definitely.
He had some fantastic drives, and Austria, if you want a good race involving Leclerc and somebody else, Austria's a very good one to watch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody's saying that Leclerc is going to be definitely someone to watch for the next couple of seasons, and I agree.
Yep.
Him and a few others that are going to be come down later down the line, because obviously the kingpins recently have been Hamilton and Vettel, but they are getting old, so they're going to probably retire in a few seasons.
Yeah, again, I don't want to speculate too much on drivers we're not talking about and stuff like that yet, but a lot of people are like, can you see Vettel beyond this year?
Yeah.
And yeah,
because usually you retire around that 40-ish mark if you aren't working.
Yeah, we're putting Leclerc on the S rank for that one.
Yeah.
All right, here's a fun one for you. Kevin Magnussen.
Ooh. Magnussen is fine.
K-Mag.
He's fine. K-Mag is fine. He's fine.
Listen, the best way we can talk about these drivers is saying, oh, this is what happened. This was a great thing. This was a bad thing. This is why they belong where. I think Magnussen is such a nothing driver who isn't as bad as Grosjean that I just want to put him in C and move on. Yeah.
Just Magnussen is like, he has a bit of character to him.
Yeah.
That's not the problem. But yeah, that's like his driving is just it's fine. He gets some points. He's okay.
He's a boring Nico Rosberg.
Also, he has like major beef with Hulkenberg.
Oh god, yeah. There's some.
You remember that?
Yeah, there's some great radio messages between them. Okay, next up, and this one is going to be possibly decided based on off-track stuff as much as on-track. Lando Norris.
Ah, okay. Yes.
No. F1's resident meme lord.
Yeah. Oh boy, howdy. He also does live streams.
He also live streams, yeah. Which I mean, we got higher than S rank here. Have we got anything higher of it? Lando Norris, it's his first season as well. One of 3 rookies in 2019. It was quite funny. He was of the 3 drivers in the start of the season, he was the one who finished the worst in F2. I think he was 3rd. Albon was 2nd. George Russell was 1st. He somehow ended up in the best car of the 3 of them. Not entirely sure how that works, but there we go.
Oh, yeah. Because Albon started in the Toro, so yeah.
Norris, I think, has had a fantastic year. Should have finished a lot higher in the championship than he did. A lot of the stuff that happened was based on accidents happening or the engines blowing up and stuff like that. A lot of reliability was why Norris didn't get as high as he probably should have. Incredibly funny guy. I mean, if you follow him on Twitter or Twitch or anything, he's very fucking funny. I love him. He's so... And then watching anything like... if you watch any behind-the-scenes stuff as well with Formula 1, there's some absolutely brilliant moments of him like pushing Albon into Ricciardo and stuff like that. It's brilliant. I don't know if I actually want to put him on S.
No.
But I think he's a solid A tier.
Yeah.
Have you got anything?
He's been pretty good on the track. He showed definitely his brilliance in a few of the later races.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely with like America, for example, US race, qualifying, general, he was really good. Carlos Sainz, his teammate, is just really good, so he couldn't really hold a candle in points, but yeah, I would say A.
Okay.
No, it's A, but A.
Okay, here's some more average boys. Sergio Perez.
Yeah, see. Moving on.
Cool.
No, Sergio Perez. Okay, listen. No. So the thing with Perez is he used to be like really kind of outstanding, actually, with the machinery he had. He does have some brilliant moments, so I would put him like above Magnussen definitely. But yeah, he did pretty good in the Racing Point this year, but there's just not much. Like there wasn't really interesting. He ended on 10th the season, so bang on the middle. That kind of feels accurate.
Yeah, but then you've also got to bear in mind that at least 4 of those places were always going to be like, when you say bang average, it's kind of weighted because the front end has got like really strong drivers, but cars, but like the back end has got really crap drivers, and based on points, the average realistically is probably more like 8 than it is 10.
I mean, it really depends where we put Perez, because depending on where you put Stroll, because I would put Perez a tier above.
I've got no problem putting Stroll in D, I'll be honest. Anyway, okay, so
let's keep Perez in C.
Perez in C.
High C.
We can look at this and maybe have a bit of a rearrange after, but
yeah.
Okay, Kimi Räikkönen.
Oh, I love Kimi. I'm biased, but I love Kimi. Kimi, obviously a legend of the sport, has been in since 2019 something, maybe. He's been Formula 1
He's been in F1 for 2 millenniums now.
Yeah, let me have a check. Yeah, he started his career at Sauber in 2001.
One millennium then. Never mind. 2 decades.
I mean, he's going to have a second this year.
Third decade. So, yeah, Räikkönen, I feel like he started the season off very well, actually.
Very strong.
Like, the Sauber was surprisingly looking good under his control. He had a very shite end of the year.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of technical problems, too.
Yeah, but he also ended up tangled in a couple of incidents that he probably shouldn't have been in with his, wise head and stuff like that. I haven't got a whole lot to highlight about him either way. I'm quite happy to keep him in B.
Yeah, so he has been a former world champion as well for one time.
Twice, wasn't it?
No, just one. No, just one.
Oh, okay. I thought it was twice.
2007.
Ah, okay.
He's been second a few times. Yeah, he has been really good in the Alpha at the beginning. Had a bit of problems. I'd argue he's an A also because he's a great personality off the track. But I wouldn't mind putting him in high B.
High B, okay. I don't mind shuffling forward a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh,
Daniel Ricciardo.
It's tough for me because obviously, so he started his career in Toro Rosso. No, wait, I think he started in some other team, 2015, in Caterham or something like that.
Caterham.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah, he's in one of those teams, wasn't he?
Yeah. So he was really impressive in the Red Bull.
He drove Vettel out.
Decided. Yeah. Then he so okay. I have it open. He started in the HRT. Actually,
oh, okay.
11 in the home and replacement team. Half season. Then he went to Toro Rosso and Red Bull, and then now he wanted to find a new thing. AKA he got offered a lot of money by Renault. And then he switched because he wasn't really getting along with Verstappen.
Yeah, no,
And Verstappen was obviously going to be the number one driver.
I think, yeah, Ricardo saw where the wind was blowing on that one.
Yeah, that was probably a good call. Problem is, Renault didn't really deliver on their be like, oh, we're going to have the best car, or we're going to compete with Red Bull next year, blah, 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 blah. And no, they're not.
I have got an incident to highlight about Ricardo.
Ooh.
Azerbaijan, he reversed into somebody.
I think that was a quid, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been.
That was funny.
I'll be honest, and I didn't think I'd ever say this about Daniel Ricciardo because he's one of my favourite drivers. I think he belongs in C just to be below Hulkenberg. Because let's be honest, you look at who's in C right now: Kvyat, Kubica, Perez, and Magnussen. Did Ricciardo have a much better year than any of them?
I mean, it was one of these like average ones again because Ricciardo was actually in 9th versus Hulkenberg's 14th.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair.
So he actually had a pretty decent year, but it wasn't flashy.
Yeah,
you know.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna.
No, I would put him in B, but
give him in B. Okay, no, that's fine.
Also, he's a great personality off track as well. He's really funny. He probably has a future in like comedy or TV hosting or something like that.
Oh, personality-wise, he's fantastic.
Oh, amazing.
All right.
There's a really funny ad for, I think, Renault dealership you should check out if you haven't. That's a recommendation. That's really good.
Okay. All right. George Russell.
Or Infinity. I don't remember.
George Russell.
George A.
George, please don't steal my lunch money, Russell.
George Russell is an A.
Yeah. Okay. I can be with that.
He won Formula 2 he won the championship the former season.
Yeah.
In front of actually Lando Norris was in second that season.
Was it Albon third? Okay, never mind then.
Yeah. He won the Formula 2 season that year. The year before, obviously it's one make. That means everyone in the same car. He can really show his skill, and I think he really showed it in the really, really weak Williams as well.
I think
he was the only one without points. But
yeah, he was actually racing against Haas and stuff like that, which isn't a huge compliment. But the Williams was so terrible last year. It was like consistently at least a second, maybe a second and a half behind any other car on average. But George Russell was actually starting to get up there a bit, and for the most part, he out-finished Kubica. It was only sheer fucking luck that Kubica actually ended up with a point. Russell out-qualified him in every single race. He's the only driver to get a whitewash, I think, as far as qualifying is concerned.
That season. Yeah.
So,
last time that happened was, I think, Alonso versus Van Dorn.
Yeah. I think I would love to see Russell and Norris in like a top tier car because they are going to be absolutely brilliant. The both of them are.
I would argue that Russell is a better driver than Lando.
We'll find out.
Also, Russell, he was squeezing out of that Williams what was possible. He was really fast in qualifying for what he could do with it. He actually almost qualified for Q2 one race. I forgot which one.
Yeah, I remember that.
I would definitely like from talent alone and like how much of a bright future he's going to have. Definitely, he's also like kind of posed for a Mercedes drive at some point. Hopefully,
yes.
They kind of grooming him for that. I heard.
Yes.
Which I would probably see him be replacement for Hamilton or Bottas at some point.
I see Hamilton be
definitely
replaced.
Be a good one. I mean, also Ocon is kind of like
a
Mercedes project, but
I think they've kind of cut ties since he's going to Renault.
I'm not
from
sure.
what I read. Anyway, next up, Carlos.
Russell in A tier.
Carlos Sainz.
Can I say something? Say something to break the ice about Carlos Sainz.
Sure.
I want him to be an S.
Why?
Because he is okay. So he has been the 6th place in the championship, which is a big deal because obviously you have the top 3 tiers that teams that are just above, like a few seconds or two above everyone else, and okay, kind of aided by the switch between Albon and Gasly, but still he managed to hang with both of them, which isn't a an easy order, because even if they switch tiers, the Toro Rosso is actually also kind of competitive against the McLaren.
I was gonna say it's not like miles down the road from McLaren, so
yeah.
They have equal chance at those last 4 points positions, I'd say.
Yeah. Also, Carlos got his first podium this season. He was Lando was pretty good against him in case of qualifying, but like in races, I think Carlos was like just much better. He has much more what do you call it? Oh, I forget this word. Experience, yeah. He has been with Toro Rosso as well and Renault, and he's just so good, and also great personality off track as well. I think he could definitely be up there if he had a car that would let him do that.
Mirdo?
Yes.
I agree with you, S tier.
Hell yeah. I just think he's one of the best.
So we're not trying to compare drivers too much here. It's more a case of how well they did, given the tools they've got. And Sainz is definitely an S tier in that case.
If there's a year to give him an S, it's this one.
I think, again, if we quickly scroll back to Leclerc and his S tier as well, he was up against it almost immediately. Vettel was already, the number one driver at Ferrari. There was already signs that Ferrari wasn't going to give Leclerc, equal opportunities and stuff like that. And he just kind of ran through it and said, nah, I'm taking what I want. And fair play to him. Of all the teams you could, that's going to be the hardest at, Ferrari is definitely the worst team for that kind of thing. Yeah.
Because Ferrari also has, that old mantra of number one, number two drivers.
They're a machine. How the cogs need to work within the machine.
And Ferrari is also kind of old-fashioned in case of with how, because Formula One, how it used to work was a lot of money and a lot of connections, and there was a lot of politicking and shit like that. I think it died down a bit over the years, because back in the day you could definitely see that more with a lot of teams and drivers and stuff. Nowadays it got a bit, obviously you still have to have connections and money, but it's not that bad anymore. So if you have talent, you are more likely to be picked up anyway.
Yeah.
But Ferrari is definitely still a bit like in the old days in that regard.
Yeah. Okay.
Carlos Sainz, really good to see it. I'm kind of sad. I want to say that if McLaren isn't actually getting back to being a top team, that he might have the same fate as Hulkenberg. I hope not. Might do. Let's see.
McLaren Mercedes 2021. Right, Mirdo, let's fill out this D rank. Lance Stroll.
Boy howdy. Okay, I think Lance Stroll gets a lot of flack for little reason, not for no reason, but a lot of people say he's a pay driver.
Yes.
Which means that he only has... So, pay driver, it means that you only get a seat because you bought it, because you bring a lot of money. And he does. His dad is Lawrence Stroll, which is great. Fucking...
To say, he's take paid driver to the next tier. He's S tier, a paid driver. His dad owns the team.
No. Yeah, okay. Okay, listen. His dad bought... what was from Force India and now it's now Racing Point, and then brought him in the team. I would argue that he isn't a real paid driver, because he actually does used to have the results to back it up every now and then. He isn't as bad as a lot of people put him. He's still a D tier, don't get me wrong.
That's all I wanted to hear. D tier.
Yeah, if you... So the thing is, back in the day, when there was a lot of more average drivers, he would be pretty good. He would be a C or B. But with the high density of talent we have this season or 2019, I think it's not fair to put him anywhere higher than D.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. He's kind of cute though.
Shut up. Next up is Max Verstappen.
Yeah, that's an S.
He's an S tier. Congratulations, Mirdo. You are correct. Max Verstappen is... So, arguably, Mercedes and Ferrari are usually going to be your race winners, pole positions, stuff like that. Max Verstappen is dragging the Red Bull back into the title fight, kicking and screaming. They're not quite there yet, but they definitely have flashes of brilliance. And I definitely feel like Max Verstappen drives that car way better than... He drives it beyond its abilities, if that makes sense. It's something that both Hamilton, Leclerc, Vettel has done, and Verstappen is part of that team. They drive better than you think the car should perform. It's why Hamilton constantly beats Bottas. It's why Leclerc has beaten Vettel. It's why Verstappen has made all of his teammates run away scared. Verstappen is an actually brilliant, aggressive driver as well. He's not a dick. He's not shoving people off the road like, some people have in the past. There's definitely some contact that goes on, but you can see where Verstappen's actually being clever with positioning his car, and he says to the person he's racing, you need to make a decision here or we're going to crash. I never think he's definitely done some things that are a little bit stupid, like the Mexico thing where he clipped Bottas's front wing and got a puncture from it. Belgium was a bit of a bad one as well.
He definitely, like, after the summer break, he had some bad moments.
Yeah.
So the thing with Verstappen is he's really good. He's definitely going to be in a title fight for years to come. He and Leclerc are probably going to be the next generation of top driver. Yeah. I'd argue he definitely has a championship in his future as well. I have to agree that he definitely is kind of remarkable, because it definitely felt like the Red Bull is like, when you have Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull as the top three, then Verstappen is definitely the Red Bull is definitely the third team in that.
Yeah.
Like the best of that. I think there's not really out of a way of putting him in S. He is a bit of a hothead still.
Yeah.
Every now and then you can tell that. So he needs to work on that. But else, he's pretty much one of the, if not the best driver in the field right now. Not this season, but in general, yeah. Definitely.
He's definitely got the potential for it. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Finally, oh god, we're gonna have a possible argument about this. Sebastian Vettel. Again, we're trying not to let his past results, championships, etc., be too much of a factor here. For me personally, even though I've just mentioned what I did, he's a 4-time champion. The kind of mistakes that he makes, and what he's done, how he acts on track, I don't think he deserves any higher than B.
Ooh.
Honestly.
Honestly, what are we doing?
Honestly, mein Gott!
Mein Gott, muss das sein! Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't put him lower than A. So the thing is, he definitely lost a lot of his shine. He used to be really, really good, and definitely S. But this season wasn't great for him. Definitely not. I talked about this with Liam every now and then. It feels like he lost his shine since he crashed out really badly in 2018 in Germany. Mm-hmm. Felt like he kind of lost his wave since then, and he kind of got it back here and there, but yeah, he wasn't that brilliant. He's 5th, which in the season, which seems about right. Yeah, I would not put him B because it doesn't feel fair.
I think it is.
He's still one of the top drivers.
If you compare his performance to how he should be, which is what we're trying to do here, and the tools given and stuff like that, I don't think he's done anywhere near as good as Leclerc.
I mean, he still has like that one win. The constant podiums, stuff like that.
I don't like his attitude though. Like, you go back to Canada when he did that bloody sign switch and stuff like that. It was such a shitty, childish move. Like, just accept that you got a penalty and move on with your life.
The thing is, this is your list, and I'm not going to be able to sell you any positive on him because you're just not.
Listen,
a fan.
I wasn't going to put signs in S, and I put him in because your reasoning was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
so the thing is, with Vettel, I would say that this season wasn't great for him. I would still argue that he is pretty good still. A really good, talented driver, and if you put him in any other car, he would still perform really well.
I'll put it this way. If B is our average, do you think he's had a better than average year? I don't think he has.
Okay, so I would definitely argue he's somewhere between A and B, probably. And if you say that you don't see him in A because his year was shit, then I guess I have to agree with that.
Like, I'm putting it this way, like, if B's your average, which it is, Bottas and Albon are in A, because they had a fantastic year. Albon showed that he was a brilliant rookie who deserved the Red Bull promotion. Bottas performed way better than he did last year, and actually, won races and stuff like that. Yeah. You look at Norris and Russell, how good they've done in their rookie years. We look at S tier, Hamilton once again driving the car down the road and just destroying people left and right. Championship win. Leclerc, he was always going to be against it in Ferrari and drove way better than anyone thought he'd be. Everyone expected him to say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm second drive, that's where I'm going to be. Yeah. He hasn't had a...
Yeah, put him in B.
He hasn't had... Fine. He hasn't had a crap year. Like, I've seen worse years for Vettel.
Yeah.
Like, last year, I might have put him in C.
He was second last year,
but
he was giving Hamilton a fight.
You imagine how the amount of pirouettes and shit he was doing and stuff like that on the track. Silly little incidents that just shouldn't happen. Saying he was second is okay, fine, but like he was in a car that was always going to get in, no matter where he started, was always going to get into the top 4 or 3 positions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, like I said, he was definitely in a fight until Germany last year, but that's 2018.
I'm happy to put Vettel at the very front of the B list, but I don't think he's had better than average year.
Who's in front of B right now?
Gasly.
Yeah. Front of Gasly, I'd say. Nestled in between there.
Done.
Before Gasly and after whatever is the name.
All right, let's talk about the order we're going to put. We haven't been doing this so far in the Jester ranks off series, but we will do it for this one because I think it's kind of important. D tier, we got Grosjean and Stroll, who had a better year.
Stroll.
Yep, I agree. C, we've got Kvyat, Kubica, Perez, and Magnussen. I would argue Kvyat's had a better year of all of them.
Yeah, Kubica. Oh no, Perez, Kubica, Magnussen?
That seems fair to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, Kubica is a tough case because obviously of all his things, but we have to look at the numbers and the stuff.
Yep. Yeah. B, we've got, there might be a bit of adjustment here, Vettel, Gasly, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Ricciardo, and Hülkenberg.
I think we said Hülkenberg in front of Ricciardo.
I think that's right.
Well, it's kind of tough to say because, like I said, Ricciardo got like more points.
Yeah. I feel like so it's Ricciardo's first year in Renault. Hulkenberg's been there a while, and to have Ricciardo finish ahead, I think that's indicative of him having a better year.
Yeah.
Where would you put Renault against the Alphas though?
I would say Vettel in front of B.
That's fine.
Keep Gasly on second, Raikkonen third. What else do we have? Giovinazzi into Renaults?
Gio and the Renaults, yeah. Good band.
Squeeze the Renaults between Raikkonen and Giovinazzi.
That seems fair. Okay. Next tier is the A tier. It is the rookie and finish tier. We have Albon, Bottas, Norris, and Russell.
Albon...
I love your thinking face.
That seems about right, isn't it? Albon, Bottas. I don't know. Bottas. I'd say put Bottas in top of that.
You reckon?
Yeah. Albon...
Do you feel like Bottas had a better year than the rookies?
I mean, he had 4 wins. It's not nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not against that order, actually. If we have Bottas, Albon, Norris, Russell.
Yeah, I again would argue that Russell... But, yeah, it's kind of hard to argue in favor of someone who had like just 0 points.
Yeah, it's unfair.
Of course, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, I'm gonna... So they had this video where they decided like the Rookie of the Year between the 3.
Yeah.
Really funny video, you should watch it if you haven't. It's really good. Also, they are all 3 great friends as well. Yeah, it's kind of hard to decide because they all have the upside, obviously. Yeah, I just keep it that way. They're probably like kind of similar to each other because some stuff weighs out the other.
Yeah. S rank, we've got Hamilton, Leclerc, Sainz, and Verstappen. I think
think
I'd want to move Verstappen above Leclerc and then call it a day.
yeah, I'd argue. Yeah, I want to say that too. So Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, and
Yeah. It's
Sainz.
again, it's kind of hard to take Hamilton from the top spot when he's won his 6th championship.
Yeah, he won so many races. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan. I don't think he's like that great, but it's kind of it's hard to argue with the facts.
Okay, right. So our finished tier list, and this is the order of the top 20 as well. S tier, we've got Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, and Sainz. A, we have Bottas, Albon, Norris, and Russell. B, we have Vettel, Gasly, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg, and Giovinazzi. C, we have Kvyat, Perez. I was going to say Sainz. Might be racist. Kubica and Magnussen. And then finally, in your D tier, you have Stroll and Grosjean. How you feeling?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Seems fine and dandy to me.
All right. Okay, well, we can call it a day at that. Boys and girls, hope you like this longer version of the ranking videos. It's probably going to be called something really clever, like Jester and Mirdo rank off together. We might do another one of these. In fact, we will record another one of these at some point. So if you enjoyed this format of the video, rather than the bit shorter ones that I do by myself, please let us know. Give us some subjects to cover. The next one will be 2019 races of Formula 1, because we kind of know Formula 1, so we're quite happy to talk about that for hours on end. But yeah, if you disagree or agree with this list, let us know in the comments. If you've got any ideas, let us know in the comments. For now, guys, thank you very much for watching. Mirdo, where can people find you?
On twitter.com @MirdoChigal310. It's probably somewhere in the description because nobody can spell that shit.
It will be. Don't forget me.
Don't you forget about Mird. Twitch.tv/Mirdo as well, at some point, maybe again, maybe.
Ooh, we might stream
maybe
again.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that. And that's it. And also on your stream a lot.
Yeah. Speaking of my stream, if you enjoyed this content, my stream channel is twitch.tv/Jestertainment. See more videos like this, as well as Twitch VODs and vlogs, youtube.com/Jester on demand. See what we're ranting about this week, twitter.com/Jestertainment_, and to join our Discord, bit.ly/JestDiscord. If you want to support the channel, there are many links to do that below. But if you are watching this video, hey, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. But for now, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you in the next one. See ya.
Good boy.